brother Evan and me with an air of superiority. I just got baptized. I'm a Christian. Now, I knew Linda and her family went to church every Sunday, but what was this Christian thing about? Whatever it was, it had to be good. I decided that every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Linda was true because she was a Christian. Evan and I decided that we, too, needed to become Christians. But how? Now, Linda's church was having a summer vacation Bible school. The neighborhood kids would go for 2 weeks in the morning and do arts and crafts, sing, eat snacks, and learn Bible stories. It was fun. At the end of each session, the kids would be invited to join the church and get baptized. Baptized! This is our end. We could be Christians like Linda. Evan and I decided that when the invitation was given, we were going to the Christian Jubilee. So the appointed time came. I proudly stood up to walk to the front of the church. I noticed that Evan wasn't behind me. He was still in his seat. Come on, Evan. He had his arms folded defiantly across his chest and shook his head. Come on. Evan refused. Fine. I couldn't believe he would back out of our agreement. I shook my fist at him and went on anyway. I got baptized a week later and became a Christian. I decided that since I was now a Christian, I shouldn't tell any more fibs to my mother. And one day I got a chance to put my newfound beliefs to the test. More next week. For Let's Stay Together, this is Point of View with Donna Terrell.
Good evening. This is Brenda McCain from the Let's Stay Together talk show. Here's this week's announcements. Join us next week, August 4th, for part 2 of Black Violence in America. United we stand, so why are we so divided? Jason Petrick Fashion Hair Studio is home to the world of fashion and entertainment. He offers you a backstage experience with salon hair services, makeup, photo shoots, clip-in and sew-in extensions, fashion and entertainment, and a great bundle deal on luxury hair. Jason creates hair that puts every woman on the runway. Please visit jpfhairstudio.com for the location to purchase hair or book an appointment for any of their outstanding services. If you never tried tea cakes, you need to try these. They are delicious. Let us introduce you to Delish Custom Cakes and Desserts by Deanna Welton Pastry. She is a chef and a cake artist. You can get your customized cake at 1773-644-0139. This is a must-see, the Men of Soul musical play with a tribute to Bill Withers at the Black Ensemble Theater, running June 27th through August 31st, 2015. The Let's Stay Together talk show gives it 2 thumbs up. Looking for a great cause? Help New Faith Baptist Church International fight against Ebola. Go to Amazon to support the Joseph Assignment. Go to www.smile.amazon.com. Right after our show, you can tune in to hear more great preaching at New Faith Baptist International Church with Pastor Trinell Felder. This broadcast comes on every Tuesday at 9 p.m. at WYJS. This concludes the Let's Stay Together talk show announcements.
You are now returning to the Let's Stay Together talk show.
All right. Welcome back. Hey, we're going to spend a few minutes on this before we talk to the pastor himself, Reverend Jordan, our pastor, the man of the hour, the man who is starting off an interesting new church where he is going to be able to bless a lot of people in a community that really needs a man of God coming over there. I'm not saying it's not there. Don't get mad at me and write me, but this is a man of God that you really want to hear from because I know for a certainty that he loves God and that is a true man of God in the house, other than me.
Well, D. Curtis.
Well, yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, D. Curtis. I forgot,
And you
man.
got the fiance over there, our
you-
army man.
You a preacher?
No, but he's a man of God,
God,
and a man
that's
of
right.
You know,
honor.
I'm talking about preachers.
No, it don't have to be no preacher.
Step off of this thing, girl.
We need people to protect our country,
Amen.
too.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you
He's
for
a
protecting
man
our
of
country.
honor.
man.
Everybody can't be behind the pulpit.
Okay.
Right.
We got to get into the story real quick. So I was talking about the black resident who was told to keep his barbecue smell in his house. So the video basically was saying, this, where we're saying that he was told by an individual there. The man's name was Scotty Jordan. Wow, his name was Jordan. Scotty Jordan. And the Pinellas County.
That's my brother.
Pinellas County, that he had to keep the smoke smell on his property, and that if the smoke smell goes on to someone else's property, he could be cited for the smell. Now, there's a video out there where it's showing that the gentleman was told, Woodward explained, the county commissioner, that the incident is not an isolated but an ongoing problem with Jordan using a commercial grill. So that's the issue. They're saying that he was using a commercial grilling equipment and not a residential grill. So that is the incident. Now, this is the funny thing about it. Graham was responding to a series of grievance, 15 for smoke and odor complaints since September 2014. Now, there was 15 violations. 14 came from the same person. So I'm going to go around the room. We're going to talk about this real quick, and then we got to get to Pastor. Baby, is this crazy? You can't. I mean, now he shouldn't have had a commercial grill. Now, let me say this real quick. Pinellas County has a law that says that commercial grilling has to have an EPA environmental protection agency is saying that there's a smoke-related thing where commercial barbecue locations are not able to allow a minimum amount of smoke to go there, that it doesn't interfere with the residents. This person now has said that he had a commercial grill that is causing the same issue that caused the problem. What are you going to say about that?
It's not crazy. I'm going against the grain because since he's violating doing commercial grilling, and I love ribs, that's just too much smoke. So I'm a person that have bad allergies. So I'm like that lady. I would have wrote the complaint 14 times too.
Pastor?
Wow. He ought to just take some ribs over there.
Yeah.
And give them to her.
Hey.
Maybe she'll change her mind.
Right. Shut her down.
Right.
What she tasted? Ooh, man, smoke
you're
on.
right.
Smoke
Bring
on.
your grill right over here.
What was he barbecuing?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What's that?
What was he barbecuing in his backyard?
Yeah, he's barbecuing in his backyard.
Well, she ain't got nothing to complain about because
But it was the air.
Some of us barbecue on the front porch. Some of us barbecue on the front lawn. We done got an old garbage can, cut it in half, put some what they call it, baby? Charcoal and a rack in there.
Yeah.
So what's she complaining about?
Yeah, she's complaining about the smoke. She didn't like the smoke.
He put some cedar chips in there, put some bacon bits in there, let it smell like the woods, and let her go on sit down and be quiet.
D. Curtis.
I have trouble barbecuing on my little Weber grill. I'm just saying that, if you have a commercial grill, that means you trying to do some business.
Yeah.
I mean, not everybody. You trying to barbecue for the block or something like that? No, you trying to get paid.
Yeah.
No, you trying to get paid.
Right. I'm gonna say this real quick. I just want the brother to come over to the McCain train with some barbecue so we can figure out, is it worth it? Because if it's some good barbecue, you can smoke all you want to.
His house better be fire.
You come to my house and smoke all you want to if you're cooking some barbecue.
Deanna, only thing she got to do is smoke one of these cakes. We good.
It doesn't make any sense that that this is happening. But if he is using a commercial grill that he's not supposed to use in a residential location, he's out of order. But the fact of the matter is that the police officers told him to go ahead. They must have got some ribs.
They got some ribs.
The fire department said go ahead. They must have got some ribs.
Well, they told him to go ahead.
Right, yeah.
Got some tips.
Yeah. Or as that Reverend Jordan was saying, she need to get some ribs so she can say go ahead. So as my wife would say, go ahead. Baby, I want you to introduce the man of the hour that we have here from this awesome church that you're going to announce for us.
Okay.
Oh God, here we go. I didn't say it was Sex in the City. This is the pastor. Just don't have your.
I was just getting my voice revved up.
Just
Can I? Well, I was like, can I have a drum roll? He goes,
Pastor, you already
okay.
see you're going to throw some water on her.
Oh, God.
I want to introduce to some and some new people in the Bronzeville area, Pastor Dearal Jordan of Christ-Centered Church of Chicago. The church is going to launch September
13th.
Now you take it from there.
2015. Thanks again for the invite. We're very excited about what's going to be happening with Christ-Centered Church of Chicago. I don't have time to go into my entire life story at Salem Baptist Church for 28 years.
Oh, man, we have you back.
serving, in various capacities of the church. But it was just over the last, 7, 8 years where this burden to start a church or to shepherd people became much more prevalent in my life. And so in all of that, God has called me now to launch Christ-Centered Church of Chicago, and part of the launch really is to center around John 17, right around verse 21, 22, where Jesus is not just talking to the disciples, but he's talking to everyone who has faith in what Jesus has taught, and he shares with them that in order for the world to recognize that Christ was sent here by his Father, that the body of Christ has to become one. So we've been talking race, and we've been talking, this black and white issue. And part of my challenge, Reverend Rick and Brenda, would be for me to intentionally plant a multicultural church. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that that's the answer, but I think it's the start of reconciliation. Within the city of Chicago, there's not a multicultural church that's being led by an African-American pastor. And I think that's what God is calling me to. Mm-hmm. I'm looking for the unchurched. I'm not looking for church folk, because church folk, they come in with their own agendas.
Yes, they do.
We desire to just be a simple church that's focused on evangelism and discipleship. Not seeking to start out a whole lot of ministries and all of that. I'm looking for unchurched people who can be taught.
Yeah.
Not traditional.
It's a lot out there.
It's a whole lot. It's enough out there to fill every church in America.
Oh, yeah.
But the problem I have discovered over the 28 years of being in ministry is that churches are not going out to get them or invite them. We are opening up our doors believing that people just going to come in, and that is not what God has called us to do.
That's so true, because you have a lot of churches that just think the doors are open. I mean, well, the doors have always been open.
Right.
Why don't you walk through them and start bringing people in? And a lot of churches are not really going out into the byways and the highways, bringing people in. And I like that you said, unchurched people. And unfortunately, we do have a lot of Christians do have their own agenda, and they're looking to do their own thing. But one of the things I want to say about you is that, I've known you for a long time, is that this is a man that has a servant's heart. I mean, I've never seen anyone serve like he does. I mean, he is the quintessential, the poster child of being a servant. And he's done some things. I'm like, I had to learn how to be a servant like that. I'm like, man, are you crazy? But he had this servant heart that always is just leading to do God's will. And so God moving you in this direction is also an example of what men should see as in the ministry, that you had to have that servant heart. Talk to me a little bit about how that came about. How did you become such a person that wanted to serve beyond measure?
Well, I remember in ministry when prepping and reading, the word, that Jesus said himself that he did not come to be served. He came to serve. And if we want to look at what a servant look like, or the greatest amongst us would be the one who's willing to serve meat to others. From God's perspective, it's not about the leadership in that perspective and being the one that people are following you around and carrying your books and all of that. It's the one that's willing to also carry his own or her own, as well as doing something for someone else. And I think for me, over the years in ministry, that's what it's been engraved in me.
Yeah.
I just want to serve that way.
How did you come up with the name for the church?
Man, I prayed for it. I really did. Coming from a Baptist background, but I wanted a name that would focus on one thing, and that's Christ. And I believe the name will keep us centered